Hello there everybody, this is Diane. I'm going to be doing a Scrapistry video today, as these are pieces that I've been setting aside and saving to make ephemera with out of scraps. Some of these you saw if you watched yesterday's video as I sorted through my handmade ephemera. So I want to finish these tags that were in there partially done or not done at all. And I have all these paper scraps and some images that I had stamped. These are all waiting to have something done with them. So I thought today would be a good day to get started on that. Let's start with the napkin decoupaged tags. So I have 5 that have napkins on them. What shall we do with them? I think I'll just start with these two. I think I will put some color around the edges that matches the turquoise. This says Bermuda Bay, but I think it looks like it might be the right color. Let's check it out. Perfect. I don't think I'll need to do a whole lot to these. As I'm inking, I'm inking and thinking. I might want to stamp a background up here and put a trim down there, or a strip of paper, or, oh, I just got an idea. Hang on and I'll show you. There's a little bit of napkin hanging off the edge here. Just give that a trim. I just saw this little strip that I had stamped. I think that would look nice down at the bottom. Not quite, hang on, don't think it's quite long enough to do both. So I have this one, that's on see-through paper of vellum. So I'm going to get a little background stamp to do something at the top of these. There's some scrap paper. I have a few to choose from. I think I'll try this script one. I'm going to try doing it again with the same color ink. guess I should ink the bottom of the stamp, not the top of the stamp. That gives some interest up there. And I think I actually like that the script overlays very subtly on the napkin. So I'm going to try just adding it over the whole napkin and see what we think. You'll be able to see it more on the flowers and the bird, I think. Not much. It's very subtle. This ink pad is probably quite dry. It's very old. It's the old style with the foam, or the felt instead of the foam pad. It's a Stampin' Up! Pad. Or, yeah, ink pad. You can see just a little bit on the bird there and some on the flowers. Doesn't show up a lot, but that I just wanted a little bit of interest. I'll do around the edges of this one. I just buy my own white felt and cut it. This one's cut a little bit big. I'm going to leave this out because I will need it for coloring my reinforcements. I'm going to find a page of white reinforcements. I'm going to turn the whole page turquoise because I'm running low on my colored reinforcements. So you can either just take a blending tool and brush it on to get a little bit of color, or you can put the pad on it to get more color. It would be much darker if this pad wasn't so dry, but I like it like this, so that's good. These are very sticky. They're vintage, but they're sticky. Maybe these aren't the vintage ones, but I do have some vintage ones. I have vintage ones on a sheet like this, but I also have really old ones that came in a box individually. Now, while I have these here, I am going to, what did I do with my stamp? Yeah, I'm going to clean that off, and then I'm going to stamp some script on the rest of my reinforcements and put them away for a future project. I just didn't want the script on the ones that I was using today, since there's already script on the background. This is a dry cloth. Sorry, I didn't mean to take so much time doing this. I'm going to try soft suede. See if that's dark enough. This is an older pad too. I think I'm going to have a Stampin' Up! Party in January or February. So I might want to invest in some newer stamp pads, colored stamp pads. Yeah, because that didn't even show up. It shows up enough. I'm not going to try to stamp again, but can you see there's script there? It's not very, it's enough to add some texture and interest, so I'm happy with that. But I think I'm going to replace those two stamp pads. Now all I have to do is put the borders on the bottom and then add some fibers or seam binding or ribbon or lace. Let's see what I have in seam binding. Oh, those would be pretty. This one has different colors in it that go with the colors of the napkin. I guess I'll just cut that piece in half. I have about an hour before I have to go get my grandsons. They're on vacation, school vacation, and parents are working, and usually it's okay because they're old enough, but my daughter is working 12 hours today. My son-in-law always works 12 hours on his work days, so she won't be home till 6:30. So I'm going to pick them up just before lunch, bring them here. I'll give them lunch and then I'll give them dinner. And we've got stuff we can do, but I do plan on doing some more in here while they're here. I just want to get a little bit done before I go get them. And there we have two pretty tags. Now these two are done on alterations tags. They already have the reinforcement on them. I'm just going to ink around them. Where's my vintage photo? have a couple, and I usually keep one out handy so I don't have to get these boxes out every time I want vintage photo. I'm not sure where that one went. I brought in my envelopes that have vintage magazine images that I've cut out and saved, and I'm wondering if this pattern is too busy to put one of those images on. Let's try one before I go any further. Here's a book. Let's see. This is an envelope of images from an old Ward's catalog from the 1960s, I believe. And so most of them are just dresses and clothing without the model in them. Some of them are hats with faces. Let's cut this out and see what we think. I got this magazine at the big Amish, well, it's not Amish, but it has a lot of Amish people, a lot of Amish vendors. It's called the Windmill Farmer, and I think it's called Farmer and Flea Market, but they don't have a lot of flea market stuff anymore. There used to be some, but not so much anymore. But I did get this old catalog from a vendor that did have really cool stuff that I would get sometimes. They were a little pricier than my normal flea markets. But he's not even there anymore. Hasn't been. I don't think I want the mannequin neck. So anyway, this was a very rough catalog. I think the cover was gone, and it was old and torn and smelled bad. The smell has improved. It just still smells a little musty, these pages. I had to get rid of some of the really nice pages because they were mildewed. This dress cost $17.98 back in the day. And I really miss that vendor. He had books, old books, which I didn't buy. Maybe I bought one or two because they were expensive. And I bought some fruit labels, like maybe grape labels or apple labels from him one time. And I got magazines, old magazines from him. Well, that kind of takes up too much space. We didn't waste that work. We'll use that for something else. Guess I should look for something smaller. Maybe a blouse. I don't know. Those hats are a possibility. Oh, I like her. I like the color. She's got a bouquet of flowers in front of her, but that's okay. Last year I said I wanted to go to that windmill market twice. It's a couple hours away, and I don't like to go in the summer because there's really no shelter, no good shelter. And if you get lunch, and there are lots of tables to sit at, but anything that's in the shade is always taken. And it's just really, really hot. but I do love to go in the fall. We went this fall and it was still hot there when we were there, but that's when I can get my Concord grapes. Yes, I really like her on this. Let's find one for the other one. Maybe something that can go up there. But last year I said I wanted to go like in the spring and then in the fall. But we never made it up there. Sometimes I go with my daughter, sometimes I go with my sisters. I went with my daughter this time. So maybe I'll go with my sisters in the spring and my daughter in the fall, or however it happens to work out. I'd like to go twice. There is a little shed. They do have an area that has little buildings with vendors in them, and most of it's new stuff. And there is one that has books, and some of them are, they're not very old books. They're just novels that people are passing on, but lots of kids' books, and there's a whole crate that's right outside the door of little golden books. And they might be a little pricier than what I get at my flea markets most of the time, but if they have special ones, I'll grab them. And I usually get a few. But it's just fun to go. Taking a lot longer with this than I expected to. I just can't find the right thing. I'll just roughly cut her out and see what I think. Yeah, I like her. Today, as I'm filming this, it's December 30th, so tomorrow is Christmas Eve, and in the afternoon we will all be gathering at my son's house, because that is the day that we will all be available. After about 2:30 we'll all be available, so we will go to my son's house and we will do our gift exchange, because I still don't have my Christmas gifts. I got my gifts from my sisters, not from my kids. Got this little tiny triangle here I'm trying to get out. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to finish inking. That one's done. have 3 more weekend collage pages to do. It's only going to be one video, and I'm not sure when I'm going to get to do it, but I just started pulling some images this morning. I was looking through my stuff and pulling things out to get ready to do that so I can finish that book. It'd be nice if I could do it for this Sunday, but I don't know if I will have it done. And she'll just go down here. Got some pink seam binding. These are 2 different styles of alterations tags. There we go. These away before they get all discombobulated. I'm going to just move on to something else. I'll finish that one sometime. Well, there's something else I want to try too while we're here. I have this basket that I keep putting scraps. Usually it's scraps of coffee dyed paper, and there's scraps of file folder in there. Just some scraps that I think I can use to make stuff, and it's just getting full. So I had this idea and I want to try it. I need a piece of plain paper. I'll be right back. This is just my inexpensive copy paper. I'm always taking digital images, journal cards type of images. If they're printed on a paper instead of cardstock, I glue them to coffee dyed paper or some other substrate. But I thought maybe I could just take some of these scraps and glue them in a row to a plain piece of paper, and then when I need a background I can just glue a journal card to the white side, and then this side would be interesting on it. Let's try it out and see how it goes. I'm just going to put some glue stick all over this page. But one section at a time. Oops. I have 2 pages there. Another thing I like to do with my coffee dye cut off strips is stamp on them. I didn't want to do that today because getting out all my stamps, or not even all my stamps, but a bunch of stamps, just, you know, it gets very cluttered and messy, and I've already gotten enough of that going on here, but we will do that. I do plan on doing a video using up some of my scraps with stamps. Probably don't need to cover every square inch of this paper because I might not need it all, but I want it to be prepared just in case. So I think that would be fun to glue a digital to. Should have some digitals here. That one's on cardstock. These are on paper. Just got glue on it. glue on there. Just about use this glue stick up. That fits in there nicely. Press this down to try to get the glue to hold it really well on both sides. There's a little bit of white there, so I'll just barely trim that off with my trimmer when it's drier. And I'm just going to trim this white edge off here. There. So these are prepared journaling cards. And I used up some of my coffee dyed paper strips. Can do a couple more there. So I did take care of a few things. Let's see what I've got here. My stamped images. Now this is on file folder, and I'm just going to cut it. Actually, I think I can use this. It'll be a journal card or a text spot. Oops. And this one will be good to go just as it is. Normally I like to stamp on these file folder pieces, but I could glue some ready-made stamped pieces on. And make a fun pocket. Let's do that real quick and then I'll have to let you go. I don't want to make the pocket too big, so I'll just have to make my pieces fit that. I'll stamp this background piece on it. Let's see what Sahara Sand does. This is a newer pad. But I've still had it for a few years anyway. That looks good. Yeah, I don't think I can get it in there with that bump there. I could round it myself, but I'll probably just leave it. And I've got some little pieces I'm going to look through. Not those. Not those. I had these dishes stacked over there in the corner of my table. This came off an old packaging, and that is digital. I don't know if it's from the old design shop or someplace else. Well, let's see. Do I like that? I think I like that. I think these are all Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous stamps. There. I think we're done for the day, because my battery's flashing and we're almost at 50 minutes. So we did these two tags, finished them up, and I think they turned out pretty nice. And we did these two tags. And we just made backings for these pieces. That makes a nice place for journaling. And we did this and this. So I'm pretty happy with the progress made today. And I've got more to work with, as you can see. So hopefully I'll be doing some more Scrapistry videos very soon. Thanks for watching, and I hope you're having a creative day, and I will see you in the next video. Happy New Year! Bye-bye.